Magic Makers. I'm Monvirella.
I'm Nikita Cosplay.
And I'm CJ Peterson, and welcome to Magic Making Mischief. Today we have a special guest, Brian Salinas, comic artist. We'll get to him in just a quick second.
How are y'all?
Get your wands to the ready because we solemnly swear we're up to no good. And today we have a mischief maker with us. As I said, we have comic artist Brian Salinas. And Brian, we already have a question for you from the blind SOB who wants to know. He wants to know, if you think about it, ask Mr. Salinas what is his superhero name would be.
Oh, Sundog. It's actually the character I created 30 years ago. I put out 30 back in 1993, and I rewrote the story and continued the story, and it's coming out later this year, hopefully, if not early next year. So it's actually a character I based loosely after myself when I was a teenager. What I would always want to be, and that's how this all started. Was 30 years ago. This was independently published, and when I was 17 years old, and here I am, 48, picking it back up.
Nice. Jeremy says hi. Hey, Jeremy. Okay. Well, then let's just dive right on in. Brian, you've been doing Comic Cons for a while, because I think I interviewed you for the Con Air at one point, if I remember correctly. That's
He
what
was
I
at Pop Culture Power Show too.
Mhm.
Heyo.
Yeah, that's right.
Brian says hey. So we've seen you a couple times around. How long have you been doing Comic Cons?
I've been doing Comic Cons now for 12 years.
Oh wow!
And
Nice.
I took that was actually no, it's been more like 15 years. Sorry, I keep thinking that well, there was that break there with the whole, the world shutting down, and so
Yeah, you get a reboot
kinda
date there.
skim over those points.
So,
Correct.
I mean, but yeah, roughly going on 15 years, and they still get me nervous. Even after all this time and meeting people and meeting the celebrities and meeting my heroes, I still get nervous about walking into a venue. I mean, it's one of those few things that I've done that you never know what to expect, and you never know going to run into and what. I've run into people who I haven't seen in 20 years just show up and like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you forever. I'm like, where do I know you from? Because I forgot. But it's amazing who you run into and the experience you get and the butterflies you still get walking into a room.
So you've been doing comic art though for a lot longer than that.
I actually started, and I grew up in Baytown, Texas, and I started going to an old shop called Knights Comics, and I met a gentleman named Terry Wagner, who runs Mental. Do y'all know Terry?
I'm not sure that we do.
He has Mental Diversions. I met him 35 years ago. He was the first publisher of my work, and so I've been. If I didn't go to the military, I think I would have done more in the comics back when I was younger. But at 17 years old, I went into the Air Force. So after Sundog came out initially, 6 months later, I was already enlisted. So I took.
Thank you for your service.
It was my honor, my pleasure, and I do it again. So luckily, I got a chance to go overseas. So I was overseas. I got to see how they treated comics. Excuse me. I was in Great Britain, and back in the 90s, it was the boom of the art of the image comics, and seeing how comics exploded, and then seeing how it bottomed out and reemerged successfully. And so I've been doing sequential comic book art off and on for roughly 25 years.
Nice.
Wow, that's
John
awesome.
says hey. Marissa says hi.
Hi.
Great crew here today.
Hello.
So, what's your favorite one to draw?
Oh, that's a tough one. It's funny. My favorite character to draw. My favorite character to draw is Batman, because you're so much what you can do with him. But that's always a cop out. Everybody's like Batman. I hate drawing Spider-Man. I hate it. I hate it. Really good one. Like, I hate drawing him though. Hate the webbing. But I don't know. I think maybe Daredevil was my favorite to draw. I love drawing.
Very cool.
Nice.
So you do some of your own stories in comic books, right? Can you tell us about some of them?
Yes. Well, Sundog is about well, back in the '90s, I didn't really have an original idea. So being this guy named West, who I knew, we came up with this concept, and then he was like, "It's gonna be a failure. You can have it. I don't want no part of it." And he signed it over to me when I was 17 years old. But it was a take of what a merger, it was Wolverine and Lobo together, but
Wait, what was that?
Lobo and Wolverine together in one character, but without becoming politically correct along the way. This is it's not too adult, but it deals with more mature matters, and but it deals with like gods and the pantheon of gods and the Mayan beliefs and that kind of stuff. So I mean, and it deals in the Norse mythology. So it's not really a complicated story. It's just a lot of fun to write and come up with because I actually wrote it last year and it came out like dirt. It was terrible, absolutely terrible. And
Oh no.
and so I did it completely, penciled, inked it, colored it, lettered it, ready to go. And then I read it and I was like, nope, can't release it. So I
Oh
started
no.
Yikes.
over and deliver a good product, then deliver, I just crap. I'm sorry. I mean, there's no other word for it. But I really release something than something I'm not proud of.
Mhm.
You know,
No,
and
I get
As
you.
you should.
I've deleted chapters. I've deleted books, so I get it. You'd rather just start over and do it right the first time and make sure that it's up to where you want it
Quality.
to be.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want like I want to be proud of it. I want to be saying, that's mine. I own it. I'm so happy that I put it out, and I'm
Mhm.
so happy I waited. And now the story I wrote is true to what it was back in 1993, and it's more well written to the point where I do so much research on it that I feel like I'm not writing at times, but yet I'm always jotting down notes or something like that and doing a layout. So I'm going really slowly on it, but I'm having fun with it, and it's a labor of love. It really is. I mean,
Now, is it a graphic novel or is it a comic book?
it will be a graphic novel. I'm actually
Okay.
releasing. I'm actually
Hmm.
because I don't like getting stories that are not told and complete, and where you get it left on the worst page possible. You're like, I want more right now. So I'm going 40 pages per volume.
Love
Nice.
that. Love graphic
Nice.
novels. They're my favorite way to do comics.
Mhm.
Well, I want somebody to say, I got enough for right now. I can wait for the next volume. I want to leave it on a really good note. I don't want to leave a story right in the middle. You're like, oh gosh, 22 pages. Because I can do 22 pages with my hand. I'll stand on my head, and you don't mean it. But you do 40, you deliver. You get more to the story, and you get more people invested. If you read 40 pages of something, you get invested in that story, and you want to go in and keep going, especially if it's good. And right now, I believe I'm delivering a really good product. I mean, I believe it so wholeheartedly that I'm gonna be at San Diego. Hopefully next year I'm at San Diego with it and be able to release it to the masses. I mean, this is the product. This is the story and the product that I've been meaning to tell for 30 years.
So, are you
That's
going to do a
awesome.
Kickstarter for it or anything?
I did originally one that was just for a single issue, but
Hmm.
and I've offered people to, because I didn't release the book, to they can have a refund or to keep supporting it. And I've had people say I keep supporting it for that. So as I get done with that new product, I'm gonna do a Kickstarter again for it for the 40 pager. And anybody that supported the first time will get 40 pages on me.
Oh,
And
nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
Very
That's
nice.
awesome.
John says that the blind likes Daredevil as well. So
That makes.
that one.
when I go Daredevil, I type my name in Braille and I do the title logo in Braille.
Oh, that's cool.
And so
Nice.
Oh
That's very
wow,
cool.
that's
Very
awesome.
accessible.
Mhm.
Oh,
when I did the
my
first
daughter. Oh,
time, there's no way I could do it. And I figured out how to do it with the textures. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you can actually fill a Braille on it. I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, this will work. It worked. But it was like Bob Ross says, happy accidents, right?
Yeah.
right.
Happy little trees.
Yeah.
That's funny because my daughter has issues with dyslexia, and so she reads, but like she doesn't really enjoy just sitting down with a really long novel and reading. But manga and graphic novels, like they hold her attention the whole way through. She'll read stacks of them,
Right.
and she loves it. And she comprehends every single bit of it. You know, it's like she'll tell you the stories for hours. You know, afterwards. So it's like there's something about that that's special. You know, to me because of that. You know, it was her connection to reading. The love of reading came from
And
graphic novels.
my daughters love comics, and they're always like, "Hey, Dad, what are you working on? What are you working on?" And so I'm lucky to have a family here that supports me in this venture. I mean, being a disabled veteran, it's I didn't think I was able to get back to this point, and I'll tell you why in a second. But knowing that I have a strong support structure here at home, and my parents are really supportive of it, it really has pushed me to that next level. It makes me want to push the art limits and experiment with different styles and like painting and watercolor. I love watercolor painting. I want to do an entire book of just watercolor. I mean, but I'm not good at it yet, so I'm gonna keep working at it.
John said that R.L. Stein got him to love reading.
Me too.
Goosebumps.
Me too.
Love that.
Yes.
Chris Claremont got me into love reading. I hated.
I've just always been a bookworm. So pretty much any book like Encyclopedia Brown, The Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew, all that stuff.
My
Well,
first favorite chapter books was Junie B. Jones.
I had trouble reading as a kid, and then I read the Dark Phoenix Saga by Chris Claremont and John Byrne. And years later, when my parents got divorced, I read his X-Men run, helped me escape from the ugliness of the family issues. And about 5 years ago, before my stroke, I saw him at a convention, and I broke down crying like
Oh,
oh my gosh, I was sobbing,
Aw.
and I
oh,
much for it. And he signed them to me, took pictures of me, gave me a big hug. He goes, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yes, sir." And I'm sitting right behind him the entire show. And I'm like, I'm sitting right behind my hero and a guy I would kill blood for. And
Oh,
it was the sweetest. Every
So
time
hold on a second. Back up.
Yeah.
Rewind a second. You just said you had a stroke.
two.
Two. So you had two
Two.
strokes, and you're a comic artist. How did
Okay, so now
spell
we're
that out?
gonna get into the juicy stuff. Ready?
Yeah. No. Back that up and rewind and take that over.
I think
Before we start, Blind says God loves man kills is on my favorite.
oh
My
yeah,
all-time favorite.
I love that.
never.
Okay, so back that up,
So
rewind that, and tell your story because I'm curious now.
okay, so 2018 in July 2018, I had a mild stroke. I was okay, no real big damage, but I kind of let my body go. I got over 300 pounds, and then December 12th of 2019, a month prior to the world shutting down, I had a massive stroke that put me in the hospital. They were going to drill a hole in the back of my head. I was completely paralyzed. I couldn't walk, I couldn't talk, couldn't use back. I couldn't feed myself, couldn't bathe myself, couldn't use my left hand. So I couldn't hold my materials, so I couldn't draw. My mind was telling me I knew how to draw, but I didn't know how to. Like I physically didn't know how to do it. So after the stroke, after I learned how to redo everything else, and everything the doctor told me I would never do again, I started doing. I was determined to get my life back. And artist Eddie Nunez, who's worked on He-Man and King Kong, he actually gave me the Wakeman tablet right behind me here. You can probably see in the background here. He gave me this because I couldn't hold paper. He gave that to me to work with, and I retaught myself how to draw digitally.
Oh,
Nice.
And as I started
that's
getting
awesome.
my control of my hands and my limbs again, I was determined to. I relearned how to control. I relearned how to draw and create backwards. The hardest stuff first. Like I had to relearn how to draw lines and line weight with my hands again because I didn't know how to do it.
Mm.
If you look at my portfolio, there's art that looks really immature, and there's art that looks really professional now because that's my journey from when I had my stroke to when I my road to recovery. So art actually saved my life. My wife started buying me a PS5 and actually bought me all the toys I have now on my walls to help me get my hand-eye coordination back.
Mm-hmm.
And so that she's actually my hero. My wife's my wife. Just celebrated 20 years anniversary yesterday.
Very cool. There you go. I'll Magic Making Mischief
Anniversary.
for you. There you go.
There you go. That's so sweet.
So she's my hero, and I tell her that all the time. She's my real life Wonder Woman. I love her to death.
Aw.
Oh, that
That's so
deserves 2
sweet.
hearts. There you go. I'll give you another one.
I seriously, I'm massively okay. We're off topic, but I'm massively in love with my wife. I'm like, I cannot say it enough. She saved
Aw.
her and my daughters. They rallied to my side. They helped me get up and out of that wheelchair, get to the bathroom. When I fell, they picked me up. And when I started walking again, they took their time with me, and they helped me learn how. My daughters went and cleaned my drawing table up because I wanted to be reminded what I couldn't do. I was determined to get my life back. And as I started drawing, they're like, "Dad, you can do it. You're doing it better. You're doing better." And so, as I was learning to draw, their push, um, um their emotional push and their backing of me, so their support of me really helped me get to that next level. And I got to the point where now I'm like, you know what? It's time for me to tell my story. I mean, it was a hard journey, but at 2 strokes, 18 months, I overcame them with art and now storytelling. I mean, I love it. I mean,
That's awesome.
Amazing.
and people are always like, "Hey, I'm sorry. Don't feel sorry that I had a stroke. It was my fault. I let my body get out of control. But you know what? I beat it, and I will continue to beat it every day. If I can relearn how to do this, tell everybody this. If I can learn how to do this at 47, 40, was there 47 years old, 46 years old? No, sorry, 45 years old. Relearn from scratch. Anybody can learn how to do what I do. It's not beyond comprehension that you can't learn this. If you really want to, you can learn it.
Unless you
Love
don't have a talent to begin with. Just saying. just saying. Good job. That's an awesome
That's amazing,
story.
though.
That is
That's
very cool.
So
That again deserves
inspirational.
another heart. So,
Yes.
truly.
Thank
I'm
you.
So
sending you the
inspirational.
magic. That is really sweet. I am excited for you. And you did that in the middle of COVID when people weren't even allowed to have a lot of visitors. That's
We can say
Mhm.
a podcast or not, but yeah, I didn't go to I do all my rehab at home. So my wife had to come in inventive ways to rehab me on her own at home.
oh wow.
Yep,
Wow.
Wonder Woman indeed. Wonder
Definitely.
Woman is the correct term for her.
You need to do like an art picture of her head on Wonder Woman.
Yes.
I'm betting
He
he
has
has.
it. He has it.
Like he already did.
That's awesome.
I'm actually did it. Her favorite character, Starfire and Martian Manhunter. I'm actually gonna put her name and stars up here.
That's awesome. I
Aw.
love it.
I
You don't
love
know.
that so much.
Oh yeah,
That's awesome.
That's awesome. I love
He's
it.
your baby. That's so sweet.
and we got and since my recovery, we've had 2 grandchildren, and we have 4 daughters and a son, and so it's. Anyways, so let's get back to more questions. Come on, I'm trying to no more sappy stuff. No more sappy stuff. Let's go.
Okay. Well, you had mentioned to me, we do have 2 social medias that people can talk to you on. One of them is Instagram. You can find them on Instagram at _geeky_patriot. That's THE_GEEKY_PATRIOT. And then you can also find him on Facebook at Brian Anthony Salinas, BrianAnthonySalinas. That is also scrolling across the bottom, but for those who are listening, I went ahead and spelled it out for you. But you mentioned to me that you may not be on it very much, and you said there was a story behind that. Did you want to share that?
Well, yeah. Well, I'm not political at all. You know,
Mm.
I vote for. I don't like discussing politics. Friends are either strong Democrats or strong Republicans, and they go at it, and I kind of want to avoid it.
I don't blame you.
And
Jeff Elmore says one of my
We
favorite
see.
artists, Brian, is the best.
thanks, Jeff. Yeah, Jeff.
Oh,
We love Jeff.
Jeff is awesome.
yes. The Elmore family.
Awesome.
And you know, Jeff will tell you I'm one of these guys that if I make you wait for a piece, it's because with my health, I got a lot going on, but yet I give extra. Like I did and hopefully he's not listening. Hopefully he listens later.
Oh, he's listening. He's
Oh, he's
listening now because he's the one that commented.
Hopefully this guy listens later because I'm
Yes, it
actually
is.
a Mickey Mouse Conan piece with
Oh, neat.
Mickey Mouse dressed as Conan. But I'm gonna dress. But I'm giving him a free piece because he waited. I'm gonna dress up
Oh,
Conan, Mickey Mouse, and say, "Hey, how do you like me taking your clothes down?"
Oh, jeez.
So I give like I'm like kind of guy. If you wait, I try to give you more bang for your buck, and and I'm very genuine. I'm very much an open book. I mean, you come to my table and we talk. It's either I'm saying something outlandish and crazy, or I'm trying to make you laugh, or I'm drawing. I mean, I try to have
Cool.
fun. I mean, if you can have fun, why do it, right?
Mhm.
So
Now,
do you have any? Oh, sorry, I was gonna say, do
oh,
you have any Comic Cons coming up?
Actually, the only one I have this year is possibly Dubai in November, and I'm doing a small Batman anniversary show at Space Cadets,
Oh,
oh,
and
yeah,
that'll be
you see that?
first. I had
That's
to.
cool.
I found out the other day. Okay, so I'm gonna say that's our first time publicly, and like no one knows except for my wife and my mom and dad and my kids. But they
Exclusive.
kidney, and on September 11th, I need to go have surgery to take apart my kidney.
Oh
Oh,
no.
goodness. Oh,
oh,
no.
But guess what? I'm gonna beat that too. I'm gonna beat that too. You know why? Because I'm a strong guy. I'm a fighter, and I'll play around. And so even if I don't make the Batman celebration show, I'm still gonna be producing art. I mean, I produce art. I love art in every form. I love cooking. I love cooking. Oh my gosh, I'm a cook and a half. But I love to do a late night cook and then sit down and draw all night long.
There you
Nice.
go.
love
Ah,
Jeff
that.
says, "Love it, Brian. Will do you right and love his Sergeant Slaughter stuff."
nice.
Aha!
Yeah,
Nice. Nice.
Jeff is my GI Joe guy, and his daughter's dressed up. His daughter's actually
Yes.
cosplay
I
lady.
I've seen
love
it.
his daughters. They're so sweet.
Yes. Nice.
So one more quick question. Unless Mommy, didn't you have a question? Sorry, I cut you
I
off.
did actually. Well, last time at one point we talked, and you were mentioning that you make some extra large pieces, like 4 feet tall,
I'm
right?
actually working on a Godzilla that's 8 pages big. So it's rough. Let me do the math for you. It'd be 34 by 136 inches by 34 inches wide.
That's a big Godzilla.
Well,
Wow.
if somebody doesn't buy it, I keep going and I keep going and keep going. So I want to make it as big as a door to give it to
Oh
my.
my goodness.
I
That's
want
awesome.
it up in his house at his door. He's a big Godzilla guy.
There you go.
There you
Nice.
go.
So quick question. Do you have any advice for anybody who'd be interested in doing comic art?
Run, don't do it. No, no. I don't like the competition. No.
Got him.
The term starving artist is a real thing. It's not an overnight thing, and so, and I personally devote at least 6 hours a day to studying, from anatomy to cinematography, because I look at a page and I got to direct it. So I'm looking at like I went through a camera lens. So if I
Oh,
can't
cool.
get the right angles or perspective or something, then then it's not going to go. And often my wife would see me like this. I'm like, I'm doing something in the air. I'm like, I draw in the air to do layouts, and she's like, "What?" And my eyes rolling back in my head. Her friends are like, "What's wrong with him?" "Oh, he's doing a layout. He's okay." And
Having
I'll
a Tony Stark
Ah,
moment there.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that before. That's a really good piece of advice. That's pretty
but
cool.
I would tell everybody to study, um, keep study. Um, if you like anime, study anime. Study how they actually how the difference between their like their cities and normal people compared to their action, because it gets so exaggerated. You need like you need to study not just superhero art, but architecture and landscaping
Mm.
and environmental art. Like look at a picture of mountains and draw those. Look out your window, draw what you see out the window. You'll learn how to draw textures like clothing, and you'll sit down and draw your sheets one day and see how it looks. Learn how to draw your curtains, draw your blinds, make it look real. Don't just draw what you see in front of you. Draw everything around you.
Huh.
And
So like depth and stuff.
yeah, I mean, drawing is an education about education. I tell everybody, it's like you're not buying my talent, you're buying my education.
Mm.
And
That's
some people understand that. Like, yeah, you're right. How long have you been doing this? I've been doing it now for 40 years. I've been drawing since I've been 8, and it's you're buying a piece that I'm taking all my education over the years and putting it in one piece for you. And so,
Well,
okay.
Art of
You
the
just blew
Ride
my
says
mind with
great
that. So,
artist. So glad he made the podcast.
We're glad
And
to.
appreciate
so now,
that.
yes, we're so glad you're here. My brain is just like blowing up right now though, because now I'm
I
thinking like that works for everybody though. Like you're paying for their education, like whether it's an artist or a doctor or a vendor or whatever. It's like that's
Accurate. Yeah, that's
valid, man.
accurate.
They got to put a price on what they're giving to you, and like, why is it so cheap, or why is it so inexpensive, or why is it so expensive? Well, you're paying for not just my experience and my skill. You're paying for all my education I put forth to get to this point where I can use this.
Mhm.
And that's what people don't realize that's how a lot of us view our stuff, because we just didn't wait and say, I'm gonna do this one day and did it. We had to learn,
Mhm.
Yep.
and we all
Yeah.
every artist I know, we've all had those times where we're just like, should we give up? Should we throw in the towel? I mean, I have. I mean, like I've had two or 3 years in a row where I wasn't making any money at this, and I was like, maybe it's just time to give up. And then I pushed through it, and next thing you know, I take a year off and come back, and people were like, "Oh, we missed seeing your work." I'm like, "Where were you all a year ago?" But
Yeah.
come back, you got you be willing to reinvent yourself with everything you do.
Yeah, I tell people if you like somebody's work, like as an author, if you like somebody's work, message them because that could be the day where they're wanting to give up.
Yeah,
True. Well, it's totally free to like someone's stuff, to message them, to
Share
tell
it.
them how you feel, to share it out. Yeah, like get the word out. If you're a fan of someone's stuff, share it out by all means. That is a positive thing. That is a great way to support them. If you don't have the money to buy it right now,
Somebody
share
else
them
might.
out. Yeah, because
Yeah.
your friends may not have heard of them, and you're like, man, this person's awesome. I love their art. I love their books. It's like that is
Yeah, you could
brilliant.
be introducing someone to their new obsession. Who knows?
Definitely.
Exactly.
Well, Brian, thank you so much for coming on. You were definitely a treat, and definitely
thank you, Miss CJ. Appreciate it.
you had some amazing things to say. That actually advice just blew my mind. So incredible. Thank
Yeah,
you.
You gave us an
Uh,
education tonight, sir. Thank
for
you.
For
sure.
real. For real.
I
For
told people,
those
I told people on shows, run fast, don't look back, just run. Don't.
run.
It's hard. I try to scare. Like, I've actually had people where I'm joking. I'm like, it's a terrible job. You don't want to do it. Nope. But they take me seriously. I'm like, I'm just kidding. But some people don't realize that being creative is actually a job. It's hard.
Yep.
Mhm.
As artists, we gotta look at fandom where it's going to be in 6 months, where it's
Mhm.
going to be in a year, and we got to base our work on where it's going to be in 3 or 4 months. We can't be just oh, we have Deadpool's coming out tomorrow. We're gonna do 20 pieces tomorrow. We gotta think about this 6 months from now, so we can do 20 pieces when the movie comes out, or what
Mhm.
movies coming out next year. We gotta do those pieces for those movies then. We gotta see where we gotta keep up with the news on what's selling and what's not. So there's a lot more. There's a lot more guessing work into it. You gotta be able to read. You gotta be able to learn and read fandom, and I think a lot of people take this industry too personally.
Mhm.
So
Well, it's that. Plus, it's just exhausting being creative.
you know what? It is exhausting. That's what we have. That's what I have chocolate milk and coffee for.
Mhm.
Nice.
Jeremy says very good, and the blind says God bless, brother.
Thank you guys. Yeah, man, I made some really cool fans along the way, but I made some really great friends along the way. I tell my fans, like, my fans are not fans, they're friends, and so I'll talk to any of them. I've had someone when I first moved to our house, and we had no money and no electricity. They're buying us groceries.
Oh
There you
wow,
go.
And
that's
so,
Well,
amazing.
for
you
those
know,
who want to get in touch with Brian, you can find him on Instagram and you can find him on Facebook. It's been scrolling across on the bottom.
and
Uh,
I do answer all my messages personally.
there you go. Well, Brian, thank you so much. Like I said, you were such a treat today. Thank you so much for coming on. Next week, we will have Olivia Swayze. It is pre recorded, so do not think we are ignoring you. Definitely, she will be on. We have pre recorded.
We had fun. You don't want to miss
You
it.
did.
My
You do
goodness,
not.
guys.
You do not want to miss it. There is a rather embarrassing moment.
Just
We lost it
tell
again,
about it.
but that's okay. Don't miss it. You do not want to miss that one. Marissa says bye. Mombi, take us out.
Did you want to spell his link real quick for those listening?
Sure. For those listening, we'll go ahead and respell that out again. For Instagram, it's the Geeky Patriot. That's THE_GEEKY_PATRIOT. For Facebook, it's Brian Anthony Salinas, BrianAnthonySalinas. And Jeremy says bye, everyone.
Bye,
Bye,
Jeremy.
y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining us. We really appreciate. Man, your story was so inspirational today. Like we actually didn't know nearly as much as we thought we did. So it was a real pleasure speaking with you. And thank you guys for joining us.
I'm always available. I'm always here. I'm always willing to talk.
Awesome. We may have to have you back sometime.
Yeah,
There you go.
I appreciate it, ladies. Thank y'all for doing what y'all do and helping supporting the arts. Appreciate it.
Anytime.
It's our pleasure. Make sure if you haven't yet to subscribe to CJ Peterson and Mombi Rella on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the new awesome episodes coming up, as well as Yukita Cosplay on Instagram. And check her out on Ko-fi. And I have Patreon for those who want to see some exclusive content. We post those on there, like some bloopers and other special things, as well as sometimes some swag on there. So check it out. Love you guys. And yeah, till next time. Mischief managed. Bye.